Hello my friends, it's Gabriel with The Last Huntsman Outdoors here. We're on to the next part of the camp knife showdown. This part I'm going to be showing batoning. Now, a couple caveats right off the bat. I think every knife in this showdown is a great knife. I suggest every knife on this showdown. So this is just kind of real down to the nitty gritty nitpicking type of thing here. Also, as far as the batoning goes, I tried to do my best finding the most even logs I can, but you know, I'm out in nature here. Nothing's going to be perfect, so just bear with that as well. But let's go ahead and get started. First up, we're going to start off with the Yukari Puko 140. I'm just going to kind of see how each one of these baton and score them afterwards. Now, I generally don't find that Scandis batons well, but for whatever reason, this one actually does. I was very impressed with it when I did the review on this knife. But before I make any judgments, I'm going to go through and score each one of these. We have the Lion Steel M5. And try to test this one out. Went through pretty good too. Wow, it did really good. We have the LT Wright Forest Trail. Give it a go. Each one of these are actually doing really good, so it's going to be kind of hard to test and compare these. Next, we have Joker Knives Nomad. Oh wow, yeah, it just exploded through that wood. That convex grind. And to be fair, this is also the most knotty piece of wood here. So convex grind, I kind of have some gripes on convex grinds here and there, but batoning it does amazingly well. Last we have the PBK Essential. Alright, so we got the batoning portion done. Now, I gotta just throw this out there. This is gonna be kind of hard to score these, just because, really, honestly, I think every one of them did good. So, like I said, I think every knife here is a great knife. I suggest every knife here. So, if you're kind of on the fence on any of these, just pick whichever flavor you want, because you're gonna have a great knife regardless of which one you pick. So this is just real down, you know, to the ground nitpicking here. I'll try to pick the ones I felt that did the best first, and then kind of go from there. I will say this one had the knottiest piece, and it still just blew through that log like it was nothing. So the Joker Nomad with that convex grind, I'm going to have to give it a solid 10. I think it did the best. And it's also a 1/4 inch thick, and so sometimes that plays a big role on how well something can baton, as well as just thickness. So it's going to get a solid 10. I think the Lion Steel probably did the second best with the high saber grind and 3/16 thick. It's going to get a solid 9. I will give it to it. It did really good, and it's actually the shortest blade here too. Third best, I'm gonna give it to the Yakari Puko, and I mean, all three of these were really close, but I do think this one did slightly worse than these two. And when I say that, it still did really good. I've always found that Scandi grinds usually don't baton that great, but this one, for whatever reason, does an amazing job. And I'm not a Scandi grind guy, but I do like this knife a lot. I'm gonna give it a solid 8 though. LT Wright with that medium saber ground line. I did find it was, you know, like I said, every one of these did really good, so this is kind of just real fine nitpicking, but I did find that this one dragged a little bit. I'm gonna give it a 7. And last, the PBK Essential with that fine little tip on there. Like I said, every knife here did really good, but I think this one did struggle the most with batoning compared to the rest of these, and they all did pretty good, but this one did probably the least. I'm gonna give it a 5. But that's gonna wrap up the batoning portion of the Camp Knife Showdown. But like I said, all these are great knives. I highly suggest any one of these knives. But with all that being said, be prepared both physically and spiritually. God bless and carry on.